guys, thanks for joining us once again. It's your boy John. I'm here with Virgil. Virgil, how you doing?
So far, so good.
I just want to apologize in advance. The Premier League fixtures over the last 2 weeks had me so confused. So at first I was planning to do an episode last week Wednesday because I thought all the teams would have played twice then, and then when I rewatched the fixtures, I realized that was a mistake. And then I also realized Liverpool played Friday. So then I was like, if we put out episode Thursday, then by Friday it wouldn't really be that relevant anymore.
Yeah, I Liverpool game that type of game that you need.
Yeah, you need to cover.
Yeah, you need to cover in case something happens.
And with the whole exams and whatnot coming up, it was just kind of hard. So it's my fault, and I apologize for that. So we'll be covering both game weeks this week. I would like to say both game weeks, but the number of matches played across the last 2 weeks is it really is kind of confusing, And speaking of that, we'll start off with Chelsea. A team that has been looking shaky before has now got 3 wins on the bounce. Since we've last recorded the episode, Chelsea has played against Cardiff City, played against Brighton and Hove Albion, and we've now recorded right after they've beat West Ham. In that time, Sarri has managed to actually rotate his squad, given a lot of players that people have been asking for a chance, such as Callum Hudson-Odoi, Emerson, Loftus-Cheek has come back into the side and found a good place in the team. And Chelsea have seemed to hit some form. Do you think that'll be enough for them to make top form?
And way out is more so not necessarily them hitting top form. It's just that a lot of misfortunes happening around them, because just look at Chelsea, who was 6 before and 6th. Right now, as it currently stands, I know that I never game in hand. They're currently in 3rd, and if Arsenal is to catch up to them, well, because Arsenal and them have a game in hand. If Arsenal is to win, they'll just be level on points. So
Yeah.
for Chelsea to make up that ground in that short space of time, it look like they just caught good form. They caught good form at the right time, but more so just that it's just United and Arsenal failed to take the chances.
Now this good form does have a fortunate luck in it. For the first game that we spoke about, Chelsea versus Cardiff, Cardiff were winning 1-0 up until the dying moment of the game, and then Azpilicueta scored a goal that was pretty explicitly offside. And Neil Warnock after the game was infuriated at the referees because this wasn't an offside way, it was a toe offside, a shoulder offside. He was a good 2 feet at minimum offside, and it was really poor officiating on the day, because that incident, it had the red card incident for Rudiger that wasn't received. And in that moment of time, Chelsea had managed to turn that game on its head and eventually run out 2-1 winners. And when we now look back on it, it could not have been the spark to their good form now. And Chelsea are now sitting in 3rd. Whereas on the other end of the table, Cardiff continue to fight relegation. And come the end of the season, we don't know how important those 3 points could have been to Cardiff's survival.
That's very true.
And going into next season, you could just see more and more incidents where VAR is needed. It is without saying that the standard of officiating in the Premier League right now is headed to probably the all-time low, and these officials need the help. Whether or not the Premier League is the best league in the world or not, it is definitely the most paid league. And if you're putting this amount of money into the league, you need to have a certain standard of officiating, or a certain standard is expected.
That's very true.
However, to look away from the negatives of this little run Chelsea were in, Hazard has hit back his form. No player at this point in time has scored or assisted more goals than the Belgian. He has now matched his highest ever total in a single campaign for Chelsea, with 19 goals in all competition. He definitely is hitting form at the right time, and he could very well be the key to Chelsea just managing to make the Champions League places.
But before everything, And the way how United was looking under just signing Solskjaer, and the way how Arsenal was looking picking up form, you really think that Chelsea wasn't expecting Chelsea to be in form. He was more thinking United and Arsenal to be the ones pushing the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel if a player like Hazard keeps showing, and from that game some players stepping up like Hudson-Odoi and Loftus-Cheek that helped them at some points in the previous games. And the title for Champions League that picking up, and Chelsea just made a statement, they're back in it.
And everybody kind of picking up form at the right time. And Chelsea next game would be against Liverpool next match day, and that has really key implications to both the run for top four and the run for the championship.
Mm-hmm.
And they are picking up form at the right time. And for those who remember, it was in that very fixture, not necessarily, I believe Chelsea were home at the time, I can't remember, or was it at Anfield back in 2010, doesn't matter. It was against these same opponents, and Liverpool just managed to slip at the key moment to give away the title to City. And you never know, we always speak about mentality, not that much of those players were there that were at Liverpool then or there now. But you never know what kind of psychological effect it might have on them. But speaking of Liverpool, they continue to win. As a City fan, I know you'd be wanting them to drop points at any given time.
Yeah.
But it just continue to rack wins. Some of them fortunate, some not. It was written in the stars for Tottenham to score one goal at Anfield.
Yeah.
And Mo Salah in that time also ended his goal scoring drought with a goal against Southampton. A really, really good individual goal on a counter attack against the Saints. And I don't know, I just want to get your thoughts about Liverpool on this run.
First one, professionalism, and now you see Spurs. Spurs have this tendency of just all you have to do, you're doing the job right, all you have to do is just hold out. And that's coming at the end, that little mistake from Lloris, and then it won't go by Alderweireld.
Yeah.
That went in. But more looking at that, as a goalkeeper, as a World Cup winning goalkeeper, top class keeper, those things, it shouldn't be something coming like that, it shouldn't be prying it out into a crowded box. That's something to just keep down, take control of, and deal with it. But I just don't know why. After that, I wasn't surprised. That was the luck part that came into Liverpool's title chances. But that game against Southampton, they went behind. Things going on right now with the defense. It just means the defense right now that out of form.
Mm-hmm.
Before Liverpool would comfortably win games 0 with a clean sheet. Just that after this, Liverpool could have dropped heads on like, alright. But before they would drop heads on and be like, okay. But the way how the table set up, how they are obviously every time they play have a game in hand.
Right, yeah.
Liverpool will see that, okay, but right now all we could do now is put pressure on City. All we could do is win our games, so they will look at that, and now after, the ball's in their court now.
Yeah, so, and when we look at the fixtures, every team except Arsenal needed to play another team in the top 6 twice.
Mm-hmm.
And now Liverpool had gotten one of those fixtures out of the way with a win. Next is Chelsea. We don't know how that game might go. It's at Anfield as well, but we don't know how that game might go. And City still have their 2 to play. City still have to play Spurs, and they still have to play United. And Liverpool are essentially daring City, saying, okay, well, we are doing it. Are you able to do it as well? And we saw last year when United had barely anything to play for other than pride. United turned around a 2-0 win to beat Man City 3-2. And you don't know what are going to happen in these fixtures. Nothing is a given, And like we say, Liverpool are getting the job done. And at this point in the season, I guess at any point in the season, it doesn't matter how good you are playing as long as you're racking the points. and nobody at Liverpool is going to care if they only have 20 minutes of good football. Score goals in that minutes, and then just make sure they don't concede.
Because coming on now, the business end with both teams going far in the Champions League. Now is not much about attractive football, more about results. And looking at how City comparing the upcoming fixtures. City have to play 2 in Spurs and United, whereas in Liverpool have to play just Chelsea.
Yeah.
And then looking at the fixtures, they have Cardiff, they have Huddersfield, they have Newcastle, Wolves, but it's not Liverpool.Ole. It's not Liverpool back in the title challenge where they lost all the City back in the days. There's a Liverpool side that they look at those games and be like, yeah, these small teams could give the top 6 problem, but this Liverpool side, they know that okay, once they get a chance, they will take it. And this Liverpool side looks like those games, it's hard to stay slipping up. So,
and the thing is, right, you could, not that there's anything necessarily wrong with City's players, but you could still sense that there's to some extent that you can score against City.
Yeah.
You don't have that same assurance against Liverpool. Like, you feel almost like if drawing against Liverpool is almost as good as a loss, as beating them.
Yeah.
Because you might not score, but if you could try and keep them out, that might be a best case scenario. And that's the testament to how good this defense has been.
Very true.
By many people, Van Dijk is being rightly shouted for PFA Player of the Year. Andrew Robertson is having another phenomenal season. I don't have the stats right in front of me right now, but I don't think there's another defender with more assists than him in the league. And no matter who plays next to Van Dijk, looks great. Alisson, even for his minor moments of madness, is a good keeper.
Yeah, and currently the top most clean sheets in the league.
So, it really is. It's really an interesting title race, I mean, you really have no idea where the axe is gonna fall, and it's really a case of who blink first, because both teams are winning. So it's like, all right, who's gonna be the first one to drop that loss, drop that points?
And I tell you, it hard, even with the difficult fixture that Man City have, it hard to just look at them and be like, okay. It had to look at both teams' fixtures and be like, okay, I can see them dropping points here. Okay, both of them have to go out and do their job. And just keep it on Liverpool. Those fixtures that Liverpool have to play is more of a, okay, all Liverpool have to do is just go out and do your job and win. And winning is not a problem for Liverpool.
And when we look back at City's first ever Premier League title, we look at how that went down to the last day of the season.
Yeah.
You could very well see this going on the last day of the season as well, and I mean that's what you want. We want a title race to be that close. I mean, I know you're in a position where it isn't that enjoyable all the time, but so just back to Liverpool, they beat Spurs, and that put Spurs on a run that was 4 losses and a draw in 5 games. But they put that losing streak to end with a 2-0 win in their first ever Premier League match in their brand new stadium. Just a little banter being an Arsenal fan. Arsenal managed to have a higher attendance at their Arsenal versus Newcastle game than Spurs had in their first ever game in the new stadium. Forever in our shadow. And but kudos on Spurs. Spurs on that day was very professional. Managed to nullify Crystal Palace to almost nothing, barely any service to Wilfried Zaha. They couldn't really do anything on the counter. You could see how hard Harry Kane was trying for that first goal into the stadium, but it ultimately was Son with a great individual moment and Eriksen with the 2 goals on the day. Spurs, like we say, still have some hard fixtures to go. You expect Spurs to make the top 4 still by most neutrals. I just don't think things are as easy as it looks on paper, specifically because when you look at Spurs, and we look at some of the fixtures that they have lost, we look at the loss to Southampton and other teams that you would not consider to be up there with Spurs, and they are even in games where Spurs dominate the opposition. And Spurs still managed to lose or drop points, especially in this very set Southampton game, Spurs outplayed them in the first half, and because they couldn't convert their chances, they just fell just short. And when Southampton got their chances, they took it, you know. And for somebody who's on 17 goals for the season, you would not say that he is out of form, but you would not say that Harry Kane is currently playing to the peak of his powers.
That's very true. But looking at Spurs side, looking at the depth and all, yeah, right now for them, they are in a position that they are in a dream position right now. They're currently in the quarterfinals of Champions League, and right now, people drag them in top 4 race. So right now, and they're like, okay, out of everybody else, we doing the best. Right now we there, and we have a little room to slip up. But just looking at just the fixtures, what coming up, what I feel really proud for Spurs is not now, is in the future fixtures. Because let's say Spurs, I can't knock them up, but let's say Spurs qualify for semi-final at Champions League.
Right. Yeah.
After playing those intense games, because how they have to play Man City 3 times in 10 days, playing those games, that's going to take a toll on the players for sure.
Yeah.
But looking at their fixtures going into how they have Huddersfield they could win. They have a City as one. They still have to play City. Well, that's in the 3 fixtures.
Right.
Then they have West Ham, Bournemouth, and Everton to end off the season. Looking at all that, and looking at how Spurs have a tendency of, kind of getting a little unlucky in games, you're thinking that, okay, right now they're in pole position in both because you can't knock them with Champions League, and right now they're in 3rd.
Yeah, their squad is notably very small as well.
Right now it's just for Pochettino, his biggest problem is which one I should focus on more.
Mm-hmm.
If things don't go good in the first leg, if I should just fall back on the second, if I should just forget about the second leg and focus just on the Premier League.
Right.
Because right now our players just getting rest and how they have their whole week rest too.
Mm-hmm.
And just rest our players and just let them focus on the Premier League and secure for next season, because in his mind he might be thinking nobody really expecting us to go far. Right now we're doing very good for the depth of the squad we have. This is actually a big achievement for him.
Yeah.
But just looking at the teams behind here, looking at Chelsea catching form, United, Arsenal, a team that they could lose 1 week, but they'll pick up again. They'll pick up again next week. Just looking at Emery is like, okay, Emery will get behind the players and push and say, okay. So if Spurs tired, Emery will recognize that, okay, Spurs are a little tired, Spurs dropping a little form, we could catch up. But the biggest problem right now is Chelsea right there behind, and that'll push them into that 4th place spot.
Yeah, I think one thing that's really good for Spurs is that within their last 6 fixtures in the Premier League, 4 of them are at home in their new stadium. And while it might not be a cauldron just yet, just being at home gives you an advantage. And that plays heavily in their favour, because as we go on to the next team to talk about in Arsenal, you can tell that there could be a significant difference between playing at home and at away. And speaking of that, Arsenal have the 2nd best home record in the league, which is fantastic, But what is very sad is that Arsenal have the 10th best away record in the league. And just some of the heavyweights that are above them in the league, in that specific table, Leicester have a better away form, Crystal Palace have a better away form, Watford have a better away form, Wolves have a better away form. The team that Arsenal lost to this weekend, Everton, they are just underneath them in the away form table. And Arsenal's remaining fixtures contained originally 5 away fixtures. Now it's down to 4. Let me just check that once more. 1, 2, 3, right? Yep, just 4 away fixtures. And that for me is the deciding factor for Arsenal as we make top 4, because while I believe it's Crystal Palace and one other team we are to play at home, and whereas nothing is taken for granted, get based on the home record, Crystal Palace and Brighton, I do expect Arsenal to pick up 6 points there. But away from home, we are playing teams that may not be fighting for anything in particular, but they are relatively good teams. We're talking about just lost to Everton. We're talking about Wolves, who were unfortunately knocked out of the FA Cup this weekend, but are known for being a giant killer in this league. We talk about Watford, who, again, just made the finals of the FA Cup and are definitely riding a high of being in good form. And this, I mean, I think it's really bad to think that a club of what should be Arsenal's stature be playing this horrible away from home. I mean, if we did episode with you last week Wednesday, right, and the only Arsenal game I would have had to talk about was the Newcastle game, I would have said that there was a maturity about this side that I felt like I haven't seen in a while. In that Newcastle game specifically, I felt like that game was managed brilliantly, both by the players and the manager. You went that entire game, and being an Arsenal fan, this is not a very familiar feeling, but you went that entire game feeling, well, we are in control. I don't ever feel like we were going to concede. And it always felt like every time we broke forward, we were going to score. I mean, it was only 2-0, but there were 2 goals that were, one was definitely wrongly disallowed, one was kind of soft, but I could understand why the referee disallowed it. There was a goal cleared off the line. Arsenal were playing really well. And how is it that you can go from that electrifying football at home to being this tiny away? And that is horrible. I mean, Arsenal played against Everton this weekend. Phil Jagielka, who came in last minute into the starting 11, scored. In the 10th minute, Arsenal had 18 minutes after that to just try and score once. And were horrible. Yeah, Everton have picked up a bit of form recently, beaten Chelsea not too long ago. But Everton have been so up and down this season. It's not to say they were that good. And when we look at the league table, you know, Watford and Wolves are both above them, and Arsenal still have to play both of them. What to say Arsenal to go there and to do well?
Well, just looking at Everton game, did Ramsey start that game or did he?
Nah, he came up short, so he only made it on the bench.
And I guess he was sort of an injury problem.
Yeah, he had a little tie straight.
But looking at that game, that from the beginning, because starting to watch the game after the first goal scored, and the first person I saw on the pitch was El Neni.
Yeah, but it's
like a game of Everton. Well, I just find Emery got that wrong. That was something that.
Well, I just like to say just one thing. Xhaka is currently out injured, and Torreira was committed to suspension, and that was his last game. So he kind of hands was tied in that situation, you know. But I mean, let him just play, and I feel like he does nothing. I mean,
I was surprised when I see when the pictures like this man still is like can I just mix up him with Cochran? I was like I think El Neni leave this club.
But I mean, and these players are capable of being like so toothless, you know. I mean, Ozil was so ineffective, you know. Mkhitaryan as well, and you know, as soon as Ramsey came on, the first 10 minutes, he was fighting for everything, and I still looked like, okay, we'll pick up all the head of steam. And then Everton realized, oh wait, it's only really Ramsey fighting, so we just let him do what he do, and when he passes to somebody else, we'll go there. And if it wasn't for some last minute tackling by Socrates, some decent saves by Leno, the score could have been a little worse. Another negative to take away from this game for Arsenal, Socrates picked up his 10th yellow of the season, meaning he'll be missing the next 2 games, including the Watford away trip and at home to Crystal Palace. Arsenal will be hoping that Laurent Koscielny will be back from injury by then, but still will be a big miss. Has been a pretty decent performer throughout the season, and he got it on a foul that I think he actually had to make, because if he didn't, it would have been Everton attacking against Mustafi.
And the tough thing for when Arsenal position is similar to Spurs. Look at Arsenal in Europe with their upcoming fixture against Napoli.
Yeah.
That's a game you can't count Arsenal out of.
Yeah.
Arsenal could go to that and get a result. But just looking at but it being to that drag them down that way format. Normally just looking at stuff like that, I'd be like away from that, those things you won't really weigh heavy on you, but it is size they're playing. Watford, Wolves. Those teams seen how they perform in that FA Cup game. Looking at them against Arsenal, they will look at them and be like, okay, that is something they know that they could take points against Arsenal.
Yeah,
and they going for the Wolves challenging for that for to hold on that 7th place.
Yeah, and that's the frightening thing in Virgil. I feel like when you visit Arsenal, there is a fear that Arsenal are really good at home. We're gonna really have to keep it together. But I feel like away, man, just tell them, it's Arsenal. We could get something out of this game.
And just the whole, it's hard now because the Emirates was like a fortress. It's hard now. The players now have to go out and know that okay, away games they're just a stadium. They have to go out and they have to push everything. Players like Laxton and Orba, they're going to be tiring for both of them because when both of them start together, just when Laxton have Orba alongside them, it's a different type of player.
No, and that's the thing, Virgil. I actually did think that he got the lineup a bit wrong. I mean, I have stopped questioning Emery because one, he knows more than I do, and for the most part of the season, I do think that he has gotten the tactics in most matches right.
Yeah.
But I really think he should have gone with the 2 on top again. I think it would have given Everton's defense much more to think about.
That's true.
I know if he had another choice, he wouldn't have played El Neni. And besides that, though, I kind of expected most of those players to play. Just you expect more from them.
Because Ozil came up short. Mickey had a...
Yeah, and I kind of feel for Lacazette in the sense that the service them was so poor this game. But credit to Everton. Idris Gueye played fantastic in the midfield, snuffled any chance of creating anything. Just to take our time, let's switch over to Manchester United. In this time period, Manchester United both won and lost a game. They defeated Watford in a game where Watford played reasonably well, but then they lost to Wolves again, and they currently see themselves sitting 6th in the table. They still have some harder fixtures to play, including a game against Man City. During the international break, they made Ole Gunnar Solskjaer permanent. And, I have my own views on this in the sense that I don't think that was necessary. I think they should have let him ride out the season, let everything come to its natural conclusion, and then assess then. Reason being, when he now came into the job, there was a euphoria about it. Mourinho's gone, we could play free flowing of football, we could do whatever we want. And these players came in with this mentality that, okay, well, we have nothing to play for because everybody at that point to our top 4 was gone. So we'll go out there and express ourselves and enjoy ourselves. And the first couple of weeks of it was really good. United were playing some really nice football. And coming on to the last couple of weeks, the quality of football kind of died a little bit. And the euphoria of it was gone. And you could have seen that, United were just getting results. We were grinding out results, just getting the points, just getting by. And, when we look at the Champions League, OGS was definitely tactically outclassed in the first leg by Tuchel. And when United didn't run anything through Pogba, they didn't know how to run through anything. And I would always say that it was by PSG shooting themselves in the foot against United is why they didn't get through and they go to the next stage. And again, United won that game in a game where nothing was expected of them. But I think now that there is something being expected of them, and now after losing 2 games on the bounce between Arsenal and Wolves in the FA Cup, and now losing to Wolves in the league again, that there's a sense of expectation being expected of Ole that, okay, you are now the manager. You need to be able to help these players deal with this pressure. And he has never done that before. He failed at dealing with the pressure when he was at Cardiff before. And I just think that this appointment was so rushed because now you are asking him to show some tactical news that you aren't sure is there. And you could have ride out the season, hope Ole get top 4. If you don't get top 4, fine. just as an example, go to Spurs, throw as much money as Daniel Levy as possible, and get Pochettino, who has been proven to be a good manager in this league. Give him funds that he was never going to get at Spurs, just simply at the stature of the clubs, and see what he could have done then. You know, he has come so close and many times to achieving things at Spurs, and maybe that little bit of funds again would have been enough for him to become a trophy-winning manager. But now that you have locked yourself into a situation where a manager who has never recruited players before, who has never managed a club this big, and you're going to ask him that, well, you would think that a club of United stature is to win trophies. You're going to ask him to come against Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp, Mauricio Pochettino, and no matter what you think about Emery and Sarri, their experience, and in Emery's case, he has won things. You're going to ask him to come against these managers and to be of that level. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible, because anything is possible. Pep did manage before he managed Barcelona, albeit the B team, and Solskjaer has managed younger levels as well. Zidane did manage before he managed Real Madrid, and we saw how those turned out. But one, there was a high caliber of players there, and two, they were embedded into a brand and did at least coach actual teams before. Ole was just part of the training staff at the under-18s. This just, to me, was just so rushed, Virgil.
And looking at that too, think about it. This is a general question I put out to the public. If anybody has, they could comment it down or let me know. What is Ole's style of football?
Yeah.
Because that plays off a part when going on recruiting players.
And that's the thing, Virgil. In the last couple of weeks, it has not been free-flowing for football. It has been soaking up the pressure and trying to hit people on the counter. Isn't that what they were doing under Mourinho? But you see, now, Pogba isn't fighting with the manager, so they can't point out that. And Ole is not this provocative personality as Mourinho was, so they can't highlight that either. But nobody wants to say that they almost playing almost the same as Mourinho, just a little bit freer. You know, we're not asking Rashford to drop back and play left back, but it's not this expansive style of football that people were saying it was in the beginning.
Yeah, they're leaving the attack, like the attack be a little more free, and I say they're just soaking up, but going into transfer market, they've been linked with players like Koulibaly, and they're gonna be linked with players like Varane and players like.
Yeah.
Isn't a match like Ole? You can't just say okay, well, look at this money and just go out and just not career mode. You just go out and bring in all these players, and how you want to put them together? What is your style? How you want deal with these type of players? And just this is me. I can't really say back so far because I can't really remember how far back when he was appointed, but around that time, I just remember everybody was saying that how Ole was beating a lot of mid-table teams and everything. Think about that. That was a period in time he came in with, okay, these are games that United under Mourinho, these are games that you think Ole should win.
Yeah.
Not even if Mourinho was there, I think United and who should win those games.
Yeah.
Or just came out, just got the job done.
Yeah.
But looking at getting into business end, challenging for a title, pushing in, if there's the qualifying Champions League. For me, Ole's a good manager. Ole, because of his background and being with United, he getting the good best out of those players. But to bring in new recruitment, they don't really care about okay, the best of getting the best out of United and fighting for United. They coming in. You have to come and get them. You have to come and recruit those players, and just a whole season starting back. Let's say if there's make Champions League, pushing to a Champions League season. I don't think Ole is confident. I don't think you can be confident in Solskjaer to be like, okay, he's somebody that could push a team like United into challenging for a title.
Yeah. And let me just say, you are Varane, right? And you've gone from, you are currently a world champion. You have won the Champions League 3 times in a row, 4 times in your career. You have won everything you've played in, barring the Euros of 2016, right? If United are not to finish in the top 4 and are in the Europa League, right? What is your allure other than the fact that you are in Manchester United to pull him to United? And Ole, he's gonna watch. At least if I was a player, I would watch Ole and be like, you don't have a good track record, and the football here isn't being that well. So you're gonna come and ask me to be a firefighter?
Basically.
Just switch over to the other half of Manchester, really quickly. Man City played against Cardiff in this time and against Fulham. Both games went out 2-0. Just not much to say in these games. You know, Man City were very professional. One against Brighton in the FA Cup this weekend. A goal for Gabriel Jesus. Kevin De Bruyne has returned to match fitness and looks to be back amongst the goals and assists. He assisted against Brighton this weekend. And, you know, I don't really have much questions other than to ask you, how key do you think a fresh Kevin De Bruyne could be in this crucial part of the season?
Well, De Bruyne picking up the match fitness and getting back and slightly back in the form. This is going to be key because somebody like David Silva right now has experienced a little bit of shakiness, and rightly so. He's not really seen as well at this stage, not really seen as a key figure in the midfield. Whereas Bernardo Silva more dominating it. Gundogan picking up some form, and Fernandinho is hard to displace Fernandinho. But just looking at how he performed in general, you could tell pushing for the near impossible quadruple, playing a capital toll on the players. These games against Fulham and Cardiff. And Pep Guardiola is right for saying that, okay, we didn't play our best. We didn't play our best. We could play better. We are known for playing much better football. But the silver lining is these are type of games and this type of season where attractive football is not necessarily needed once you could grind or the win, and kudos that is able to keep a clean sheet. But getting into this part of the season, Champions League starting back. These are now playing games off the bunks, barely in time to rest. Luckily enough that we playing Spurs in London. We was in London and Wembley, and the City team just stayed in London instead of to escape the travelling back and forth.
Yeah.
But looking at if it was outside the country, traveling, everything, and playing games, playing in all competitions, the players, it will be hard for them to put out their best performances, being mentally tired, physically tired. It'll just be hard. But this is where rotation have to come in, squad depth and everything. So everybody now need to pull their weight. So this is De Bruyne. De Bruyne coming in now was able to help us deal with David Silva out of form. Bernardo is constantly good, but you don't know when Bernardo might get that period that he might crash. Zinchenko, Mendy come back in, but compare how Mendy playing with Zinchenko playing styles. Zinchenko have a tendency of going into midfield and adding depth to the midfield. And these things now, these constant squad changing because we can't have a set lineup and be like, okay, these players know each other and they're going out, and okay, you have to change around. So players, they did it before in the past, but the only difference is now mental is match fitness and tiredness coming in. Some players Aguero looking to be back on fitness, but these little small injuries will play a part. Small injuries be like, yeah, but these small injuries like Aguero facing, Zinchenko facing, this is when the real test coming in. This is when the show of squad depth coming in. And just to touch back on the Champions League going into Spurs, looking at Spurs, people might think Spurs going and comparing the City squad to Spurs, how Spurs had the whole week rest, and Spurs in the new stadium, which I just want to add it in Spurs stadium right now.
Nice though.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm looking forward to see that stadium in a Champions League setting on the Champions League lights. But yeah, basically, squad them have to come in right now. It's going to be very hard for these players now to put in a good performance, dominating sides.
Yeah, it's just body wins. Alright, so real quickly, can I have our trivia section right now? So first question for you, Virgil. Luka Milivojevic has now scored 10 penalties in the Premier League this season. Only Blanc has ever scored more in a single competition. Who is this person?
English?
Yes. This is way far back though. It was 11 goals in 04-05.
I felt like I heard this already before. If you play for this player I play for Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
with Johnson.
Yeah, it's Andrew Johnson. Only Andrew Johnson has ever scored more goals in a single campaign. Next one. James Maddison has scored 3 direct free kicks in the Premier League this season, the most by a player in a single campaign since Blank in 16-17, which was also 3.
Okay, so 16-17. Coutinho.
Yeah, it's Phil Coutinho. You might be looking to come back in the Premier League given how bad his time at Barcelona. Real quickly, a goal of goal of the weekend.
Goal of this weekend, I will have to say first goal for Leicester, Yuri Tillemans.
Right.
I'll say his strike. I'll give that for my goal of the week.
Mine was definitely Eden-Hazard's strike tonight against West Ham. First goal, beautiful shalom and run through the team. Nobody could have touched it.
That show has done monster.
Yeah, definitely has to be in contention for PFA Player of the Year. Alright, guys. What are you going to say first?
I was going to say, and contention for Real Madrid.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Alright, guys, that's it for this week. Thank you guys always for your support and your feedback. Comment and let us know anything that you want to say. Hit us up on social media everywhere, Twitter and Instagram at Corner Flower Talk, Facebook and YouTube, Corner Flower Talk. Well, you guys would see it. We're back on SoundCloud. We finally fixed the little problem we had. We're back on SoundCloud, back on Apple Podcasts. I'll catch you guys next time. See you guys soon.
I'ma keep these eyes low, sticking with my own flow. Told you I'd be ice cold. You tryna be in control of me. You can't see what I could be. I feel it all, I'm on a roll. Stop trying to estimate what you don't know. Oh no. I'm ready to go. I'll walk this path alone. Keep the pace nice and slow. I'm better on my own. Boy, the one thing that I think you should know is that I plan on doing this all on my own. This my ride, this my time, this me taking control. So watch me blossom and take the throne. So watch me blossom and take the. I just came up with a million reasons why I can't give you my love. I can't afford the time, so baby, won't you please give up? Just think I'm talking about color not around. You can call me a bitch. Hit the switch, yeah, I know I'm a bad bitch, yeah. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling really lit, so what you really calling for? I don't want you anymore. Take one hit and you're on the floor. I will never be yours. But the one thing that I think you should know is that I plan on doing this all on my own. This my ride, this my time, this me taking control. So watch me blossom and take the throne. Speed your way through this life, chasing something that don't feel right. You may lose your way sometimes, that's alright, it's part of the ride. I just wanna know what you're really calling for. I don't need you anymore, watch me do this on my own. I just wanna know what you're really calling for. I don't need you anymore, watch me do this on my own. Boy, the one thing that I think you should know is that I plan on doing this all on my own. This my ride, this my time, this me taking control. So watch me blossom and take the throne.